I'm going to be honest with you. Last week, there was like no makeup news. And I'm so glad that was the week we only did a live show. Because this week, my friend, so much happening. So we're going to start off with Mikayla and some TikToks that she put out regarding her wedding and rumors about things that were going on. She addressed some things that I want to talk about because we've talked about them on this channel, and I want to make sure we have the full story on some of these things. The next thing just popped off 2 days ago. Jaclyn Hill put up a video talking about how she's closing down 2 of the 3 brands that she's currently involved in. There is so much to think about and to say regarding that video. And then just yesterday, Urban Decay put out an Instagram video that is hitting people wrong, that people are like, this is just not it. But I think that different people in our community are going to feel slightly differently about whether Urban Decay was just outright wrong or maybe their thoughts and opinions and presentation is outdated. I cannot wait to hear from you and what you think about this particular post. So if that sounds interesting to you, I have all of that and so much more. So hang tight. We are jumping into it right now. Hello, my friend. Welcome back to What's Up in Makeup, where we talk about everything that is happening in the makeup space, all in one place. And this week we are starting with 2 influencer stories. Let's talk about Mikayla first. Mikayla, as you may know, she is a very famous person on TikTok. She recently got married, and there were a ton of rumors going on, like they do about people that get to that level of popularity. Rumors start flying. And Mikayla took to her TikTok last week to clarify quite a few of those rumors. Rumors included whether she skipped out on inviting family members to her wedding in order to invite influencers. They were also talking about whether her entire wedding was sponsored by makeup brands, including e.l.f. Cosmetics, and then even some people questioning whether she had an accent as she was walking around and being in her wedding. The big one that I want to focus on is whether or not her wedding was sponsored, because that is something we actually talked about on this channel. The reason why we talked about it is because there were photos of this kissing booth, and on the kissing booth, it had e.l.f. Cosmetics logo. So it looked like at least e.l.f. sponsored the kissing booth, that they had paid to put the kissing booth there or something. Mikayla has said no, that she actually paid for the kissing booth herself, and that e.l.f. Cosmetics, she had to actually approach them to see if she was allowed to use their logo on the kissing booth. The other thing was that she did give out her lip kit that she had developed with e.l.f. in synchronicity with her wedding, that those were given out as gifts, favors for the people that were at her wedding. I am seriously hoping e.l.f. did not make her pay for those. That would be absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion. And based on the collabs I've done in the past, I would imagine e.l.f. gifted those to her, but that wouldn't be considered a sponsorship, I don't think. So I wanted to clarify that. Mikayla says her wedding was absolutely not sponsored by e.l.f. Regarding the other rumors, I'll link her whole video down below in case you want to watch everything, but she said that the reason why you're seeing a lot of influencers posting on social media about her wedding and not other people is because the influencers are the ones that post on social media. Like she said specifically, she's like, my grandma is not going to post on Instagram about my wedding, which makes perfect sense. And then regarding her accent, this is what she had to say about that.
Did she have an accent at her wedding? Are you for real? I'm not answering that shit. Obviously, I have an accent. The things people care about, I just don't comprehend.
She ended the series of posts on something that I really kind of resonated with me. I think that all of us in the social media space that have some kind of social media following, we've all experienced dehumanization. And Mikayla kind of went on this little rant about, you know what, like, I am just a person. Influencers are just people. And when I invited influencers to my wedding, it was just me inviting people. that I have met before, that I appreciate and get along with and talk to, which, if I was getting married today, there would be influencers at my wedding because quite a few of my closer friends are in the beauty space. I have very few friends outside of the space. So it makes perfect sense to me, but I can see where people that don't do this for a job and aren't kind of in this realm might lose track of that, because it's easy to see someone on a screen and not really, and kind of associate people because they're on your TV or on your phone almost like television characters or movie characters. So I thought that was very interesting the way she ended it. In the end, my thought on this is I'm actually quite bummed that e.l.f. did not sponsor her wedding, because I feel like that would have been really cool of them. I feel like they could have, and that it wouldn't have been a bad thing. I think it would have been a good thing. I would have been happy for her if that had been the case. Day before yesterday, I was scrolling on social media like I do, and someone said something like, I can't wait to hear what you think about Jaclyn's latest video. And I was like, oh, Jaclyn put up a video. I had no idea. I went over, I watched it, and I just kind of went, this is what it looks like. This is what the topic is. Jaclyn is closing down 2 of the brands that she is involved in, the only 2 that she actually has control over. And those brands are Kosas and Jaclyn Roxanne. If you are not familiar, Kosas is her loungewear brand. They sell slippers and blankets and sleepwear, stuff like that. And then Jaclyn Roxanne is her jewelry brand. As we know, because we've been keeping up on this pretty closely here on What's Up in Makeup, Jaclyn does not own Jaclyn Cosmetics. It is currently owned by Forma's lenders, companies called Jeffries Finance LLC and Cerberus Capital Management. They scooped up the brands under Forma when Forma declared bankruptcy. In court documents, it was solidly shown that Jaclyn is listed as a collaborator and a licensor and not the CEO of the company. I will put the documents on the screen in case you have not seen those, because I am constantly being told that they are not real. They are here. They are from the official public court documents. In this 18-minute long video, Jaclyn starts off talking about how Kosas and Jaclyn Roxanne were born out of Lipstick Gate, which was when she launched Jaclyn Cosmetics, and there were tons of problems with the lipsticks, including having hairs, fuzz, little lumpy things. Somebody had found a little piece of metal, just all kinds of contaminants in these lipsticks. Jaclyn ended up refunding everybody's money, but never did a formal recall. And this was obviously very traumatizing for her. I mean, I think it would be traumatizing for anybody. But after that was the inspiration was to start these 2 other brands. She said she did it to prove it to herself and to her followers that she's a quote, a bad and that she could do it. And I'm going to talk about this more in live chat today. If it's past the time of live chat, I will link it in the video description down below. It's going to be, if you're watching this today, it's going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern time today, where she said her biggest regret after Lipstick Gate, she didn't call it Lipstick Gate, but that's what I call it. That's what I was calling it, was not picking herself up and investing her time in Jaclyn Cosmetics. And that this was the biggest regret of her entire life, was not streamlining her energy into the cosmetic company. Not how she handled the launch and the fuzzy gloves and all of that, but how she didn't put her energy into Jaclyn Cosmetics and instead started Kosas and Jaclyn Roxanne. One of the biggest surprises for me in this video was when she said that she didn't want to be a brand owner and that Kosas and Jaclyn Roxanne weren't making her happy, and that she didn't want to be the blanket girl and the jewelry girl. She wanted her legacy to be about cosmetics, because I do believe this is contrary to things that she said publicly in the past. But again, we're going to talk about all of that in live chat. She said she was so much happier when she was doing makeup and doing collabs and developing a relationship with her followers and working on Jaclyn Cosmetics. And she said that money and fame are no longer drivers for her, that all she wants is happiness, mental stability, and clarity. Another point that she stresses that she's actually said many times before is that she feels like her social media looks like one big brand deal. And the reason why is because she was constantly having launches for these 3 brands. And that's how you sell products, is you have to promote them. So that was, having the 3 brands was causing her to have to be constantly selling. She said that she's sick of pushing products, but that's what she needed to do to keep her businesses going. She said, quote, I feel like a salesman and it's not me, it feels icky. I have lots of feelings about that statement. Again, We'll talk about it. She does seem very passionate about wanting to go back to building a relationship with her followers, and that makes perfect sense to me. The analogy that resonated with her most that someone had said to her was that she had taken the wrong exit on the highway and was now making a U-turn and then getting back on the highway. She briefly mentions about her brand Cozy and how Kaylin Nicholson, even though she never mentions Kaylin's name, how there was an issue with the trademark and all of that. She says that the trademark lawyer said that she was okay with doing the trademark, but hadn't done the due diligence of doing a Google search herself and finding all things Coze. She also strangely calls Kaylin Nicholson a small creator when Kaylin has over 1 million followers, which I thought was a little bit odd. And then after that, she goes into talking about Jaclyn Cosmetics and how she admits she doesn't know the future of that brand, which makes sense because she doesn't own it. There's quite a bit of time spent on her saying how she neglected Jaclyn Cosmetics and didn't really put her heart and soul into it and just kind of let other people do all of the work for the cosmetic brand. She seemed most regretful that she hadn't cultivated her relationship, her brand's relationship with Ulta, and she saw that as a big miss for her. As far as the future of the 3 brands, she said that she does have some launches in the pipeline for Cozy and for Jaclyn Roxanne, that they will be coming out soon. Then there'll be a bunch of sales, and then within the next couple of months, those brands will shut down. And then with Jaclyn Cosmetics, she gets really passionate for a second about this launch that she's been working on. It's the same script that she does a lot, where she talks about how she's been working on it for so long and how it's such a unique thing and no one else has done this thing before, that will be coming out soon. So that is the basics of what happened in the video. I do want to go more into discussion about this with the community. I feel like that's the best place to talk about it, is where we can all get together and share our opinions. I have some video clips to share with you and all of that, but that will all be in this week's accompanying live chat. I hope to see you there. We have been following Revlon's ride into bankruptcy protection and back out again for the past year. Can you believe it's been a year? It has been since June of 2022 since they said that they were filing for bankruptcy protection. During that ride, we also followed the journey of Ron Perlman and his daughter, Deborah Perlman. Ron purchased the company way back in 1985, and his daughter, Deborah, was the CEO and president of Revlon from 2018 until now. The reasons for the decline of Revlon were given as, of course, the pandemic that hit makeup brands very, very hard with the sales and the supply chain and all of that. They also have had a lot of difficulty reaching younger customers. They haven't really done a whole lot on social media to promote their brand. Though they never really completely bottomed out, they always have had sales, and a lot of sales. They didn't have enough to pay the bills and to keep their shareholders happy. So the bills that they had totaled a long-term debt of $3.3 billion. After filing for bankruptcy protection, Revlon briefly became one of those meme stocks. The shares went soaring nearly 35%, and the stock up more than 300%, according to Bloomberg. And at the time, they estimated that 538 million shares changed hands. And I do think that this was a precursor to Revlon recovering and coming out of bankruptcy, because it showed that there are people that do believe in this brand. But it was going to take a lot of work. And last September, Revlon, through the bankruptcy, shared some of the strategies. And they knew that the people at the top were going to have to work really hard, so they promised these bonuses. Deborah Perlman was set to receive up to $10.6 million as the CEO and president. That would be given if they met certain benchmarks. Now, in January of 2023, the bankruptcy court released more information, including the fact that they were getting rid of Ron. They were giving him the boot, giving him the axe, whatever you want to call it. Ron was gonna be out. As far as Deborah goes, they were going to honor her contract, but they also whipped up a severance package, which I'm assuming was a very nice severance package. As of this past week, it seems that the severance has been severed because Deborah has stepped down effective immediately. There is a woman named Liz Smith that has stepped into her place. She has been the executive chair of the Revlon board of directors since May of 2023. Now she is acting CEO and president. Deborah is still there, kind of helping through the transition, but we don't know how long that transition is going to be. It could be a week, it could be a year. We just don't know. She's just kind of making sure everything is smooth on the way out. But Deborah is now out, I'm assuming, with a very big chunk of change in her pocket for helping them get out of bankruptcy. A little bit about Liz. She used to be the president of Avon. So I am very curious how Revlon is going to navigate the beauty space in the future. Avon may not be where we want to go with this, but there are a lot of people that love Avon. I don't know who they want their customer base to be. I'm hoping they can reach younger people. That's what I hope their goal is. But with Liz Smith at the helm, I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll just have to wait and see. Urban Decay has been around since 1996. That was the year that I graduated from high school. And I will tell you, things are very, very different than they were in 1996. My dating life back then was a lot of trying to get the man. That was just the thing. You wore makeup, you wore cute clothes because you wanted to impress the man. I didn't wear makeup for myself. I wore makeup to look better, to look prettier so that I could attract dates. The truth is, even if I had the ability to text message a photo of myself to somebody that I wanted to date, there is no way I would have done that without any makeup on. It just wouldn't have happened. But this is not 1996 or 2006. This is 2023, and things are quite different. The expectations for women to wear makeup have changed, and women are standing up and saying, you know what? I want someone to love me for the way that I look, with makeup, without makeup, in my natural state. And the makeup should be worn for me and not for a prospective partner. And this is why a recent post on Urban Decay's Instagram is hitting wrong with a lot of people. Let me go ahead and show it to you. Under the video are absolutely not having it. I actually didn't see a single positive comment. This one I giggled at and really resonated with me. It says, closed captions. The rando man that I'm in a casual fling with has messaged wanting access to my time and body. I must drop everything I'm doing and ensure that I portray that I'm the standard of beauty at all times and that he is entitled to have access to me. Because, I'm chill like that. Another one said, the portrayal of having to be perfect or aesthetically pleasing to anyone whenever they request it seems a waste of your reach and ability to create positive influence. Faking your beauty for someone else should not be value you strive for, but something to be avoided. And then there was this brutally honest comment that says, I don't think he meant that type of pic. Which is probably true. And then there were some threats, things like, well, this is the last and final time I buy from Urban Decay, promoting toxic beauty standards and toxic relationships. Fucking gross, dude. And then the very real, just reply with 5 chin angles, girls. If he don't like it, he can lump it. I'm going to be very honest with you. When I first watched this, I was thinking in my head, having not been on a date with someone other than my husband since 2003, I was like, I don't see anything wrong with this. And then I started reading comments and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But my brain was not registering it at first. Are people that exited the dating market in the early 2000s, late 2000s, are we still stuck there? And are people that are currently dating or people younger that weren't dating yet, are you seeing the problem with this where people like me are not? I'm just so curious about it. I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Speaking along the same lines of that topic, we talked about in live chat last week how I took my kid Phoenix to go see the Barbie movie and how my favorite part of that movie was America Ferrera's monologue about the impossibilities of being a woman, right? Freaking love that. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't read it, it is available online for you to read in its entirety. I don't think that there are video clips out yet. But I am glad that this is being talked about more, like along with the last story, like this story about these standards that women specifically are held to in our society. And there is a company called Billy. They are a self-grooming company, and they have released a lot of different little marketing things. They did some unconventional fairy tales at one point that we talked about, and they have recently created a board game that apparently no one can win. I don't even know honestly if it was actually for sale because it's listed as sold out, but just the idea of it I found interesting and I wanted to share with you. So the board game is called No Worries If Not. I'm going to go ahead and play a clip of the ad for you.
Are you a chronic apologizer? Have you been called the people pleaser, but as a compliment? Introducing No Worries If Not, the game women never wanted to play. Based on the real-life traps and hurdles women face in daily life. Includes over 80 cards with all too familiar setbacks. No woman has ever reached. Everyone's happy, no one's Madland. Could you be the first? But also, no worries if not.
When explaining why they made the game, the brand says, "At Billy, we believe the world is a better place when women don't have to face constant judgment on their appearance, choices, or existence. We want to make room for women to make their own rules, create new routines that truly serve them, and shake off the old pressures. Usually we make body products. This time we made a board game." Features of the game include the spiral of self-doubt, you look tired triangle, smile more street, and the end space that apparently no one reaches called Everyone's Happy, No One's Mad. Land. And a big reason why probably nobody reaches this is because the space before it leads you directly back to start. Instead of choosing like a shoe or a top hat for your playing piece, you can choose a sleep mask, a biological clock, a serum of eternal youth, or a desk salad, among other choices. And I kind of wish this was for sale. I think that it would be fun to just as like a talking piece, if nothing else, to play with a group of people. I really appreciate when brands do things like this, even though I know in the end it's all marketing and it's just to bring attention to their brand. It's kind of cool to see them bring attention to other things as well. And I thought this was super creative. Let us now discuss the products that were launched this week. As always, the products listed in the description box below, the links down below may be affiliate links, and I may earn a small commission if you click on them and use them. If you choose to, thank you so much for supporting the channel. It doesn't cost you any extra, but it gives me a little kickback for referring you. So let's go ahead and jump into the first thing, which is a company called PYT Beauty. If you are not familiar with them, you probably never got Ipsy or BoxyCharm because they were frequent flyers in those boxes from when they launched in 2018 until recently. And just so you know, PYT Beauty is closing. If you are interested in trying their products, this is a great time to try them. They are 70% off right now on their website. You're going to use code CLOSEUP70 at checkout to get that 70% off. They are still selling for full price at Ulta Beauty's store online. I'm not sure if they're still available in Target stores. I know that they supposedly launched as in part of Target's lineup in February of 2022, but I don't know if they're still available there or not. This one we briefly mentioned in live chat last week, but I wanted to spend a little more time on it because I am personally kind of like, should I get it? Should I not get it on this one? Prada Beauty just launched. It is literally the only luxury brand that I care about. So I am quite interested in this and I'm kind of peeking at it. So let's tell you, in case you're also interested in maybe getting this, this is what they're offering. They have the Reveal Foundation, $70, $55 for the refill, 29 shades. It's really hard to see what the gradient looks like because they did the thing where they mix up the shades, which is super annoying. So, we'll have to see how it all lays out. They do have some very light shades, very deep shades. So that's at least a good sign. The ingredients look like it's a ton of silicone. So it's probably going to be just really soft on the skin. That's going to give that soft filter effect that they're talking about. I also have a feeling this is going to be one of those that goes on really smooth and then dries down to a powder just based on the ingredient deck and just from other formulas that I've tried that have had similar ingredient decks. It is most likely going to have a scent. There's fragrance in here and there's a bunch of citrus oils, and it seems like it's more than just masking. Like there's a significant amount in here. So there's probably going to be some kind of scent to it. They also have these eyeshadow palettes. There's 3 shades in the palette with 6 different color choices. It's $80 for a palette with 3 shades in it. It's $65 for the refill. I looked at the eyeshadow formula. It's very standard. No red flags in it. There's certain ingredients that I see like mineral oil and really cheap shadows. Of course, it doesn't have anything like that, but the eyeshadow formula is pretty standard except for one ingredient that I've never seen in eyeshadow. I've only ever seen it in skincare. I'm going to put on the screen right now because I don't want to fully butcher it. They do say that the eyeshadow will, quote, give the eyelids a smoother look after 28 days of consistent use. So the only 2 ingredients that look like skincare in there are kaolin, which is usually used to absorb oil, and then that ingredient that is here. Like I said, it is typically used in skincare. It's used in products by Ren, Tata Harper, Neutrogena, the Inkey List, and the Ordinary. And because it's in products by the Inkey List and the Ordinary, I'm assuming it's not a super expensive ingredient, but it does seem like a really good ingredient. It's known for being a really good antioxidant. Also, it can help with transepidermal water loss, and maybe that's why they're saying that it can improve the texture of your skin, because it might help with that transepidermal water loss if you're not using like any kind of eye cream or anything like that, and this is like the only product you're using for skincare on your eyes. There's also 2 lipstick formulas, $50 each, $40 refill there, 12 shades in each formula. There's one that's called the Monochrome Soft Matte, and then the Monochrome Hyper Matte. And of course, the Soft Matte looks like one of those that's like that, like almost like the Lisa Eldridge ones that are kind of diffused on the edges, and then the Hyper Matte is going to be, you know, a little bit more defined and dry down matte. Beyond that, they've also launched some brushes and then a couple of skincare products: the Augmented Skin Cleanser, the Augmented Skin Serum, and the Augmented Skin Face Cream. If you are interested, it is available now at Harrods website, also on their website. It is going to be available at Sephora in September if you wanted to wait until then. And then they're talking there's going to be another big drop of products in January of 2024. Let us move on to another interesting product launch. This is the Glossier Stretch Fluid Foundation. It is coming on August 22nd. There's 32 shades in the range. As part of the marketing, they say that there are 7 families, and each family has 4 to 5 undertones. They say that it's 89% skincare based, which I would imagine it's like water and glycerin in the top, which would be like the majority of the formula. That would make sense. They say that it's transfer resistant, sweat resistant, and up to 12 hours of wear, buildable, light to medium coverage, and they say it blends seamlessly and stays true to color. I actually had this video for the next launch pop up on my YouTube feed. This is the Charlotte Tilbury and Disney 100 collection. The whole collection is $190. It includes a branded Magic Cream Moisturizer, choice of 3 different shades. You can pick one of the Beauty Light Wand, and a limited edition branded makeup bag. They did come out with a really cute little commercial to go along with it where they turn Charlotte Tilbury into a Disney character, and she's so cute. It's absolutely adorable. She says things like, dare to dream it, dare to believe it, dare to do it, make up your dreams, your magic, and your destiny, and light up the world. It's very cheesy, but it's Disney. I mean, you know, Disney gets cheesy. That's just the way that it is. One thing I noticed about the bundles that they have over there, because you can get the individual products, is there's no discount for getting anything in the bundle. So if you just wanted the bag and the magic cream, you're not getting a discount by getting more than the 2 products or whatever. You can get individual products too. But that means that the bag they're selling by itself is $48. Why? Why is this bag $48? I have no idea. I think that is absolutely nuts. Link down below to all the stuff in that collection if you're interested. There is another collab I want to talk about before we jump into Sephora. This is e.l.f. and the Twitch streamer Loserfruit. They came out with a collection. It only came in a vault. You couldn't get the products individually, $45. And I'm talking about it in the past tense because it sold out in about 22 hours, it seems. No word on a restock. Who knows if they're going to restock. If I hear they're going to restock, I will let you know, because even if you don't know who Loserfruit is, I've only heard of her through the makeup space for other things that she's done in the past, because I'm not a gaming kind of person. But the collection's just super cute is my point. It's adorable. I love the little strawberry backpack. It's so cute. I wouldn't wear it, but for the right person, I think it's going to be absolutely adorable. Now for Sephora and Ulta, y'all seem to really like when I ran through the products really fast, so I'm just going to do that this week. Let me know what you think down below. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on each one. I am going to spend a little more time on this first one. This is the Iconic London Radiant Concealer and Brightening Duo. It's got the two sides. There's a crayon on one side and then a liquid on the other side. And the model in the video puts the crayon on and then taps it out and then puts the liquid over top of it and blends it out. Like, girl, isn't that going to crease? Like, what is even like, how is this going to be? I don't know. I would love to see someone with fine lines try this because I think this is going to be a creasy mess. I mean, of course you don't have to use them both, but just the fact the advertisement says to use them both, I think that's a little, maybe for some people it looks gorgeous on her. So maybe that's why, but I don't think on me that would work. That's just a thought. After that, I do want to talk about that Valentino released a new product. This is the Liquirosso 2-in-1 Soft Matte Liquid Lipstick and Blush. So you can use it for the lipstick or the blush. And then we have Makeup Forever, the Artist Longwear Skin Fusing Powder Highlighter and the Artist Longwear Skin Fusing Powder Blush that goes along with their release not too long ago, Artist Longwear Skin Fusing Contour Powder that did launch a couple of weeks ago. Lawless has also launched the Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Satin Cream Lipstick. Lots of really natural shades there, very pretty. Kosas released the Brow Pop Nano Ultra Fine Detailing and Feathering Eyebrow Pencil. We also have from Pat McGrath a new products launching. We kind of touched them a little bit last week. We have the Fetishized Longwear Liquid Eyeshadow in 5 natural shades. We have the Intensifies Longwear Eyeshadow Primer, and then the Love It or Hate It Pat McGrath launch of the Mothership 11 eyeshadow palette called Sunlit Seduction. Over at Sephora and Ulta, there's 2 products that launched at both places. We have the Natasha Denona Mini Starlette palette that was leaked like a month ago. It's now available at both retailers. We also have the Clinique High Impact Hi-Fi Full Volume Mascara. And speaking of Pat McGrath, because I've still got Pat McGrath in my brain, you may have heard that Pat McGrath is now coming to Ulta. It will be online August 27th and in stores on September 3rd. It's going to be the full range of products, all of the Pat McGrath stuff, including the brand new launches that were just launched at Sephora. As far as things that launched this week, we have the UOMA Beauty Double Take Bronzer, Double Take Perfecting Highlighter, and Double Take Freed Highlight Stick. Tula has released their Radiant Skin Brightening Concealer. Looks like a really nice shade range there. Juvia's Place has launched at Ulta the Magic Lip Oils. They did launch about a month ago on their website, but they are now at Ulta. They are named after different fruits. So whenever there's a lip product that's named after different fruits, I always wonder, does it actually smell and taste like the fruit? There's no evidence that it does on any of Juvia's Place's socials, on the description on Ulta or anywhere else. I did read in the comments on Instagram that somebody that purchased them said that they do have a flavor, but it's very, very mild and it doesn't taste like the actual fruit, which I think would have been super cool. They've also released a bronzed cream bronzer in 8 shades. And then finally, this one threw me for a loop. I wasn't sure what was happening here. This is the Winky Lux Jelly Bear Hydrating Primer. And I looked at it and I was like, is it a primer for your lips? Because it looks like a legit lip gloss, like sleeping balm. Like, what is even happening? No, this is a face primer. So they say that it preps skin for flawless makeup application, that it is silicone free. It's a translucent primer with a cool, refreshing feel. And this is what I want you to know about this product if you were looking at it. This is going to hydrate your skin and prep it for makeup in that way, in that makeup just goes on better to hydrated skin. If you want your makeup to last longer, chances are you're going to want some kind of silicone-based primer. Just having a hydrated base may help it last longer a little bit, but using this more like skincare to hydrate your skin and then adding a silicone primer on top is what I personally would use if I wanted the primer to help my makeup last longer. All right, PR purchase product of the week, my friend. I love this segment because I get to show you amazing things like this. check this out. This is what is on my eyes today. Have you been looking at it? Because I cannot stop. I cannot stop looking at this look. It is so freaking pretty. I am dying. This is the Gourmand Girls and Doodles by the Bunny Nightshade palette that was just launched not that long ago. They were kind enough to send this over. Oh my gosh. I looked at it and I was like, this is a little intimidating. It's got so many colors. But I am absolutely dying over this look. I have to swatch some of these for you. So on my eyes today, I'm going to swatch those first. I've used the shade Flowering and Poisonous. I've also used Enchanter, though that's what's on my lid. So I will swatch those for you first. And it's interesting because when I applied the yellow shade next to the purple shade, it definitely turned a little bit more green, which is really fun. Then I'm going to swatch the mattes that I used, which are Nightshade and Woody. And then on my lower lash line, I used Hellebore. So this is just a quick swatch of the shades. I'm going to swatch that one purple matte Woody one more time, just to make sure you can see how it builds. There you go. This palette went on like a freaking dream. I was actually a little nervous about Poisonous because it doesn't look like it's pressed very hard into the pan, but it was very, very easy to use. I also, on my lips today, did the little thing where I put lip gloss and then I put eyeshadow into it. So my lips are actually the shade Nightshade with a little bit of Dream Shade. Let me just show you real quick with this Too Faced lip gloss, just so I can show you what's happening and how that worked. So with Nightshade, so that's what's on my lips, and then I popped a little bit of Dream Shade right in the middle of it to kind of give it that little pop. And dang, do I love this look. I'm dying. It is so pretty. It is so freaking pretty. So thank you again to Gourmand Girls and Doodles by the Bunny for sending this over. I am absolutely loving it so far. This is a full first impression. I have not worn this all day, but I am loving it so far. I also wanted to mention a couple of things real quick. I also got these Kokie eyebrow pencils in the mail from them. I wanted to warn you, if you have really dark hair like I do, the eyebrow pencil in dark brown is the wrong shade for me. This is dark brown, which is really a medium brown. And then this one is black, which I would never have ordered black, but black is definitely the shade that matches me better. Overall, the formula is really good. It goes on the way that I love eyebrow pencils to go on. Very easy, very creamy. I think they're having trouble going over top of whatever I have on my hand, but but going into the brows, they went in very easily. Spoolie's great, just really nice brow pencils. Very standard, but work well. I also love like the angled packaging. It feels really good in the hand. I also tried two products sent to me from Catrice. This is the Under Eye Brightener Instant Awake. It worked out so well. I was so happy with this. I was actually FaceTiming with a friend when I was trying this on, and I was like, I got distracted for a second and stopped talking and realized that I was not, I should have been paying more attention to them because I was so distracted by this working so well. I am just a freaking mess. So it's like a pink tone and you put it under your eyes, and that's the only thing I'm wearing under my eyes today other than a little bit of powder. It really did a nice job of not concealing, but color correcting under my eyes without being overpowering, without being too much. It blended out really beautifully, but it was quite light. So if you are deeper than me, this may end up giving too much of a cast, but if you're my shade or lighter, I feel like this is going to be a good one. I also tried out this all over tint. This one is in Beaming Diamond, and let me put it on this hand because I feel like I'm just glittered up on the other hand. Really pretty natural glow right there. It kind of reminds me of the Cookie highlighter a little bit, like how sheer it is without being like from space, but it's also very glowy. It just gives a beautiful wet look. So I'm really loving the products that I tried today. I had so much fun getting ready, and I'm so happy I got to share it with you. Finally, there's just two sales that I want to share with you. We have the Sigma Back to School sale, 50% off for students and teachers and 40% off for everyone else. And then Nomad Cosmetics is having a 20% off site-wide sale. And that, my friend, was what's up in makeup this week. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, thank you as always to the What's Up in Makeup Facebook Hunters. Thank you so much for all of your submissions this week. I appreciate you so much for taking time out of your day to submit to the group. You are fabulous. Our chat today our lovely chat is going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Hopefully you can join us. If you can't, it is no problem at all. Very easy to find on the replay. If you're subscribed, you just go to your subscription feed. It should be hanging out right there for you. So this is a great time to subscribe to make sure that you can have easy access to it. But if you don't want to subscribe, that's totally fine too. You can also find it by going to my channel page, clicking on my videos, clicking on the live tab. That is where all my live streams are housed. There's also down below all of my videos, the What's Up in Makeup live stream podcast that is going to have give you access to all of the live streams that we've done so far this year, including the one that we're doing today if you're watching this after the live is over. Thank you again so much for watching. I appreciate you. If you would like to hang out just a little bit longer, YouTube should be recommending a couple videos for you right over here to watch, including two weeks ago's episode of What's Up in Makeup. I'm going to put that there in case you missed it. And then one that YouTube's going to pick out for you based on your viewing history is going to be at the top. But if you do need to go, it is no problem at all. Thank you for hanging out as long as you did. And mad love to you, and I will see you in a video very, very soon. Bye!